Welcome back to Noire. I'm Nanji, and I'm so happy that you are here with me today. In this episode, we're talking about something that we don't prioritize nearly enough, and that's self-care. For Black women, whether you're a wife or mother, or just navigating life in general, it often feels like the world demands so much of us that there's nothing left for ourselves. But here's the truth. Self-care isn't selfish. So in today's podcast, we're diving into how can we reclaim our time and space to nurture ourselves without guilt or judgment. This episode is all about giving yourself permission to pour into you the way that you pour into others. Let's start by defining what self-care really means. For Black women, self-care isn't just a bubble bath and spa days, although those are really, really good ideas. It's about protecting your peace in a world that doesn't always prioritize you. It's about setting boundaries with your time, your energy, and emotional labor. It's about doing things that make you feel whole, even if it's unconventional. Culturally, we've often been taught to be strong Black women, always putting everyone else first. But strength doesn't mean neglecting yourself. It's time to challenge that narrative and recognize that self-care is a radical act of self-love. And even more proof of that, it says in the Word of God that we are to love our neighbors as we love ourselves. And if we can't love ourselves, how can we love our neighbor? But most importantly, how can we love God? Now listen up to all my wifeys out there. Self-care can feel so tricky while you're navigating marriage or a partnership. We're often balancing the needs of our partners with our own. So here's what I've learned being married for 8 years. First thing is to communicate your needs. Let's face it, we expect our partners to know what we're thinking and just get to it. And that's not the case. When we communicate our needs, we let them know that we need time for ourselves or that we need help with responsibilities. And for those like me whose love language is acts of service, we just expect our partners just to do things without asking. And oftentimes that's just not going to be the case. And I can't be mad that my husband's not doing something if I didn't ask him, I didn't tell him. He has a lot on his plate as well, and it's not fair that I expect him to give me grace when I don't extend that favor. Second, create shared responsibilities. Self-care becomes so much easier when both partners contribute equally to the household or parenting duties. Now, this here goes with communicating as well. Come up with the list together with your partner, like, okay, today I'm handling the dishes, okay, and tomorrow I will do the laundry. That way you are able to create that set time for yourself because all the other household chores are being completed and everybody's on the same page, so there's no surprises or any kind of resentment that you are removing yourself, though you need it and it's valid, that your partner doesn't feel like they're on an island by themselves. And third, keep your identity alive. It's easy to lose yourself in the role of a wife. Make time for hobbies, friendships, or solo activities that make you feel like you. I have lived in the city that I lived in for a very long time, and I am just now getting to know where I live because I was so wrapped up in being a wife. Now, I love being a wife. It's one of my favorite things in the world, besides Jesus. and food and my kids. But I had to remind myself that I was a person before being a wife. And doing hobbies and having friends and doing things by myself allows me to pour into myself, so I'm able to become one with my husband. Get me? Now we're shifting gears to all my mamas, okay? Motherhood brings its own unique challenges when it comes to self-care. Now, I have mentioned this before in the previous episode, so mamas, I see you and I hear you. Here are some practical ways to prioritize yourself as a mom. 1, schedule me time. This is a non-negotiable, okay? Scheduling me time, you treat it like an appointment that just cannot be canceled. Whether it's 15 minutes to meditate or read your Bible, an hour to work out, those things have to be set in place. Now, I'm starting to get into being a gym girly and to work out and to take care of my body. And my husband knows that morning time, 5, 6 a.m., strictly for me. Granted, our kids don't wake up that early, but I know that that time is for me and he knows that time is for me. So, and I'm allowed to just pour into myself with no interruptions. 2nd, building a village. I have realized that I don't have to do it all alone. So you don't either. Lean on your community, whether it's friends, family, or childcare. And I know all 3 of those things are very difficult to find and to manage. But sis, I promise, when you find that village, however that looks like for you, self-care is so much more attainable. And you will become a better you for it. And lastly, let go of the mom guilt. Please, sis, let go of the mom guilt. Taking care of yourself makes you a better mom. You can't pour from the empty cup, and your kids deserve a happy, healthy parent. And I know we've heard that cliche time and time and time again, but it is so true. Again, referring back to the Bible, our bodies are temples. So if we cannot treat our bodies, work on our bodies the way that God intended, how are we able to do anything that He has called us to do? Even if that means being a mother. It has to click, sis. It needs to click. And to all my wonderful Black women who are not mothers and who are not wives, navigating the world as Black women, self-care is also about resilience and reclamation. These are the things that has worked for me. First, mental health check-ins. Therapy or journaling can help you process emotions and navigate challenges. Again, I have mentioned this before in previous podcasts that I have been to therapy, and that process has helped me so much. And honestly, I wish I did it before becoming a mother. And it just has taught me things about myself that I didn't know that was there. And it gave me a power to accomplish the things that God has called me to do. And in terms of journaling, seeing your emotions on paper is like a sense of release, that you're not holding on to it and it's not manifesting in a way that hurts your body. Though you might feel fine emotionally, but your body is showing those feelings of trauma, that feeling of anger, that feeling of sadness, all of those things, those somatic feelings. So therapy and journaling together go real bad. Second, spiritual care. Whether it's prayer, meditation, or spending time in nature, connect with something bigger than yourself. Now, y'all know I love Jesus so bad because He is everything to me. And my spiritual care, my spiritual journey, my walk with God has been so pivotal in my self-care, because there are many moments when I'm just like praying. I'm like, Lord, I can't do this without you. I need you, Lord. I need the strength. I need grace. I need patience. I need the fruits of the Spirit. Lord, help. In my Kevin Hart voice. And He showed up every single time. And that has allowed me to be a better person, because I'm connected with God, and I know that whenever I call on Him, He is always on time. And lastly, unapologetic joy. Doing things that bring you happiness just because. Laugh loud, dance freely, and celebrate your wins, big or small. For those of you who don't know me personally, I am the biggest goofball. Though I am an introvert. Doesn't necessarily seem like it, but I am. And I like to have fun. Though I deny it sometimes with my husband, I am pretty silly. So I'm always joking around, playing around with my kids, like making silly faces, just doing things to not allow me to sit in the negative and just really reaching into the positive and celebrating the small things like waking up in the morning, brushing my teeth, taking a shower. Those things are so important to making sure that you are pouring into yourself, as minute as it seems. And remember, it's okay to ask for help, sis. Whether it's a therapist, a mentor, or a friend, you do not have to carry it alone. As Black women, we are so amazing when it comes to community and helping other people, but we have to realize that we can't. We need to focus on ourselves, however selfish that may seem. Because when you are pouring into other people, what else do you have for you? How are you able to function? And like I've said previously, this whole talk of self-care as a Black woman is literally like taboo, because society has painted a picture for us that we have to be superwoman. We have to do it all because it's in our DNA, as they say. Going back 400 years, a lot was put on us. We were taking care of other people's children. We were taking care of our household. We were always working. Feminism, us. The Black family, us. Civil rights movement, us. All of these big societal and historical changes, a big portion of that was placed on us. And those generations continue to add on because our mothers didn't deal with it, our grandmothers didn't deal with it, our great-grandmothers didn't deal with it. So they didn't have the tools to be able to heal from that and to teach the next generation how to be better. If not us, then who? If not now, then when? Because if we are not learning how to take care of ourselves, the next generation, it might not be here because the trauma is too much to handle for any one person. So I submit this to you, sis. If you see a friend, if you see another sister, help her out in the best way that you know how. Whether it's financially, spiritually, through prayer, listening emotionally, and just being there, whether going to a movie or a cute little sushi date. Whatever that looks like for y'all's friendship or relationship, do that because it's so important for us as a community to stick together. Because let's face it, we are at the bottom of the barrel. Nobody cares that much about us. Society has proven that time and time again. So we have to care about ourselves and leave everybody else, eating dust. It sounds harsh, but that is the reality. So I am here for you, sis. This is a safe space. So drop down in the comment what it is that you need help with. What is self-care to you? And what do you need help with self-care? It is my honor and privilege to be able to help you reach lengths to be able to pour into yourself. Self-care isn't just a buzzword. It's not a new trend. It's a necessity. It's biblical, especially for Black women navigating their lives as wives, mothers, or just women trying to thrive in society. Now, I challenge you. I want you to do one self-care practice that you will commit to this week. Again, let me know on Instagram, the Nurture Noire podcast, or just drop down a comment to make sure that you are sharing your stories, and I will greatly reach out back to you. Now, granted, I will be holding you accountable. So, Examples could be a solo date, reading a book, going to the gym, doing an at-home face mask. Whatever that looks like to you, commit to doing one this week. And as you continue to build a habit, self-care will no longer be selfish. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave a review, and share this episode with another Black woman who deserves to put herself first. All right? Until next time, stay nurtured, stay bold, and always stay you.